Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Feng Shui Serenity podcast. I am your host, Grace New. Each month, I tune into the key themes that might be showing up for the collective, using Chinese astrology, 5 elements, as well as Feng Shui. And here, we talk about all things sacred, divine guidance, soulful living, creative expression, and finding the magic within. I want to share this story. This story is, I've received this client inquiry at the start of the year, January this year. And he was so excited because they just required a new business. So everything is happening. And they also just moved from London to Sydney. And then so they got a brand new home as well. So he said, oh, please come and do the business and then do the feng shui alignment for both business and home. And I've got 3 kids and life has been so busy, new business acquired. So there was a lot of things also need to be attended to. And we had a really good, conversation or email exchange. And then I haven't heard from him since. I think the last email that he sent to me was someone at work for certain reason is not there. So he has to carry that extra work. I want to say life for us, is always going to be busy for one reason or another if we want to be. The key thing is that we know what is a priority. This is where even to have the idea of doing this Q&A session, the key thing I read from Art of the War by Sun Tzu, so many ancient years, many, many thousand years back. And the book was written for how you win the war. But he said the greatest victory is that there is no battle. So this is what I really hold. This is how I live my life. That's my aim, which I also want to transpire this way so that we can all live a life with no struggle. Everything that we know, there is so many things already in the world that is unknown, that is out of our control. So what we need to know is to fully focus. What is our priority in life? If we think that there is absolutely perfect time, I will get to do my home's feng shui, it's probably never going to happen. We're going to have to make time, especially not all the time, but at a certain crucial time. And that time is now. Because coming back to this beautiful man's story, he reached me out. This story is such a top of mind. He reached out not long ago. It was actually makes me feel a little bit sad to read. I can feel his energy is scattered. There's a few words I just want to quote him. He said, life is in tatters. I don't know where to begin. So I can see from January to where we are now, October, now just November, 10-month time, your life can change so much, one direction or another. So when you put in the work at the right time, feng shui is all about the right time. Chinese, if I read your chart before, I'm not talking about running out of time, fear of missing out. I'm talking about timing, the timing where the energy that is most potent, that you do something, everything else is unnecessary. I hate to say this, it's like, oh, I don't want to be saying this, but I want you to envision if you do things right now in 10 months' time, what your life could be, what change could you make? Because the worst thing I want to see is someone come back to me that we could make that time so prosperous and fruitful for you. That's what I want to share at the start, okay? So if you guys are new to feng shui alignment, and I want to say this package was designed originally for my existing client. So feng shui alignment is my signature service. And the reason you have to do the feng shui alignment first, because feng shui alignment is like this entire 360-degree, like a full house, thorough review. It talks about the energy points. It talks about flying star energy. And then we talk about the natal chart. Natal chart is the home. Your home is like us. We have a birth chart that never changes. So the moment your home is built, the moment your home has a certain facing, then its natal chart is set. Okay, so with my existing client, they only have to do, like for you, if you're new, you only have to do feng shui alignment once. So you already know what is the DNA of this home, right? And then we have another layer of information, which is the annual energy. Because when the annual energy interact with the birth chart, with the natal energy, and this is where we can actually derive certain strategy, map out certain strategy for your home. That's the whole purpose. This is my expertise, and I can unapologetically say that I am not the one who just fluff the cushion, hand the crystals, and putting I've read so many things like, that they put a money frog, clean the stove, and expect their life to change. I respectfully disagree. I mean, or at least that is not what I'm going to focus on. Okay, I'm going to focus on that one thing. And I feel that my practice from the last couple of years, I have really condensed the key actions, because I find when you do a million of small things, it's just so overwhelming for my clients. And nowadays I do it. I usually, if you see me first time for feng shui alignment, I usually provide you with 2 potent action. These actions will completely shift the energy of the home. It doesn't mean that stops there, but I want to help you to choose that the one action that can actually move the dial. That one action, the rest of the 50 little things, putting money frog, that's when I really have a lot of time. Having a cup of tea and celebrating maybe a Chinese New Year, I will do that just for fun. But what I want to do is I want to do that one thing. I really want to move the energy. I want to shift the condition of your health issues, relationship issues, money you can never save. I want to change that by doing just 1 or 2 things. That's what I'm best at. So this is why if you are serious about doing proper feng shui, classical feng shui, then you can continue to listen what I'm about to talk about. So 2025 Year of the Snake Feng Shui annual update, providing you already have done the Feng Shui alignment. And remember, you only have to do Feng Shui alignment, the full alignment once. And once you've done that, you only need to do the annual top-ups, updates. So you always get ahead of the curve. Okay, so this is what we're doing now, because every year will get easier. Like my clients these days, they just expert already. So this entire process is a training, it's an education, but at the same time, it's also a connection with your home, that energy connection. Because after all, you're the one who lives in that environment. So The format, I'm going to talk about the 3 new things I added on top of the existing on the old format. So we have a slightly switch or change. So the number one thing I want to really support you and have that consistent support in Year of the Snake is I want to have this one-on-one, face-to-face session, because I get excited. I feel my clients get excited. We love one-on-one session. We get, the energy is really heightened, and I love group sessions. So I want to do this 4 masterclasses. And the first one at the moment is set on the 1st of December. This is earlier than ever. I usually do my annual 2025, like an annual entire yearly focus and energy, probably January, because most of time Chinese New Year doesn't really arrive until late Jan and February. But this year I want to do early. And there is reason for this. I want you guys to prepare, because the Year of the Snake is going to be super changeable. Snake is a traveling star. Changes are inevitable, put it this way. Okay, it just depends on how prepared you are. The changes can be life-changing, can be really elevated to a new, different landscape. You are going to be, some people is going to be having some phenomenal success. Okay, changing status. I said it, and some people is becoming famous, because this is the year. It's going to be like, fire energy, going to be explosive. But when it becomes unpredictable and not working to your favor is when you're not fully moving or know what is going on, or your home is not fully prepared and equipped. So I also designed the 3 other masterclass at February. So the February, I want to make sure everyone have their remedies or activation. By that time, we have already done our one-on-one session, and I will give you a chronological how you move this at the end as well, so you crystal clear about this. So I have chosen February, May, and September. These are crucial times. So May is going to be a really, really, I would say, a month to watch. I would also say, even after US election, there will be some turbulence, because after 7th of November, the Year of the Snake's energy is already coming in, because this coming month, in a few days' time, is going to be a Yin Wood peak month. And next year is Yin Wood Snake. So you see, part of the energy is already here this month. So I can guarantee November is going to be a very, very a month of change. Let's put it this way, okay? Let's let some of the historical events unfold in its own way. And I'll just leave it as that. And so May and September are also really important. That's why I put the masterclass during those times. And the second thing I actually added, especially, is the one-on-one strategy session with each of you who have made a booking. So the calendar is starting in December. The calendar is already starting to get full, because people already booked it. Some of the clients don't really need to know, they just know they need to book this. So the rest are details. Okay, so the calendars is actually now, as soon as you book, you will get the email to ask you to book your one-on-one strategy session, because that is going to happen next. And during that 45 minutes live session, we're going to review what happened in 2024, good, bad, or ugly, and we fine-tune it. And this is the beauty of the annual update, because there is never be, oh, we're done, we don't have to do anything, we just leave it. We don't just do one feng shui alignment and leave it. Every year we fine-tune it. What has happened in the past 12 months, right? Can we do better? So things will get easier and easier for you, and you will also starting to get the sense, because my clients, after they've done few years of the annual update, they already know what events to look for. Some people that, at the start, you might not even know what the things I'm looking for to report back. But some of my clients are super amazing to actually detecting this. And they will say things doesn't feel right. My daughter, this never happened before, but this year she has a lot of sports injuries. So we look at why, how we can actually change this, because each year's energy is delivering some information and messages for us so that we can make sure our home is fully aligned, is we can rectify anything that is afflicted. Okay. So this is what we do. We do review, and then we also do a bespoke activation, because annual energy change around your home this year, for example, I'm not gonna give away the major golden nuggets, but I can tell you, if last year you have done uh, um, the wealth activation in the northeast sector, this year it changes. Every year changes. And yin wood, the wealth star, the wealth god for the yin wood, in 2025 is different. So how we're going to activate that specific sector differently? And this is where we activate in December, because this is that even before we have this warm up. So the earlier you get in, you see result in spring, in Chinese sense, spring, which is February. Okay, after Chinese New Year, 3 months after, you see the result already. And of course, we do activation, but we also remedy the most challenging sector. So interestingly, I have just moved my desk back to West, because in 2024, the worst, or the sector that really need to remedy, is the West sector. So I moved my desk away, and now I'm moving it back, because in the West sector, next year is the academic success, intelligence star. So I want to work. This was my desk before, so now I'm moving it back. Yes, here I put this. This is not Destiny chart update session. So a lot of you have asked, is this to do with your Buzz chart? This is different. So usually at this time, I send out a feng shui update, which is for your home. But then I also send out your destiny chart, which is your birth chart update, annual update. What is coming up? What are the key things you need to make priority in this coming year? Okay, so that is yet to happen. I'm probably doing that sometime in December. But at the moment, I want you to get your home's environment. Like me, I already done it. So I also want to do this early. So anything is showing up for me, I'm going to share it with you in the first masterclass, okay? So third thing that I have added for this year is a hands-on training and implementation. For example, I have already thought about one thing that I really want to do is to talk about feng shui remedies. So I want to really, let's just break down what the remedy does. How is this actually changing the energy within your home so that you get so creative? There's so many ways. You don't have to use the remedy I give you. When you're starting to understand what is behind the remedy, there are so many creative ways. I use all my decorations I collect, which also implies when I buy things, I have a certain purpose. So I'm not, gathering a lot of dust gatherers, right? In my home, I want every piece means something, that each year I'm going to move things and use them. And I'm going to teach you how to do this. And these are what I mean by hands-on trainings. So as I'm carrying through, interacting with all of you, and you will inspire me to what else to do. You know, what are the things you really want to know? And so this is the year I really want this interaction. And this page is to summarize the written report was covering before. So for those of you who have done it in the past, there will be a slight format change. It will be simpler but potent. You will still have your general energy update and forecast, which is about, I think it was about 20 pages in a Google document. You will still have that, the general energy and update, because it's so useful. I talk about everything I can think about, year of the snake, I will talk about. For example, I will say year of the snake, because of the Chinese character, it's a year, if your health is not that great, this is the year of surgery. And this has been proven in the ancient texts as well, because how the yin wood as a Chinese character. So we're going to focus a lot on the health as well, okay? Your home's 2025 flying star chart. So you'll get an update. And remember that I always highlight the auspicious part in your home and an area that you need to take extra care. You will still get that. And you know, what to do, what does that mean, how that is interacting with your natal chart, your birth chart, right? We still need to consider that layers of information. And of course, 2025, the bespoke activation, you will still get how you activate, what are the key areas we're going to activate for you based on your intentions. And that's where we're going to discuss during our strategy session. Okay, so we know exactly what are we going to activate, and you will still get your remedy illustration in your home, where to put what. So that is not changing, but will become more concise and simpler. I want to land it on until you make unconscious conscious. It will direct your life and you will call it fate. Doing the feng shui alignment is to make the unconscious conscious. Doing the annual feng shui update, annual destiny chart update, is to make the unconscious conscious. And I am actually flying out tomorrow to Hong Kong to give a talk. I'm going to talk about how we can make this unconscious conscious, but it's a different focus. It's focused on modern entrepreneur, modern business, how we create a successful business, you know, during the period 9. But here, I just want to quickly share that period 9 is the age to make unconscious conscious. Most of you have already, like most of my client has already done that for the past 2 or 3 years already. Right? But I trust there is more and more people are awakening to energy, to how you actually change your life is not just from the physical. So Jen is asking, if my goal is to sell my current home and find a new one, do you still recommend investing in your alignment package? Absolutely. And I remember Emma also asked this question. So why I would say your current home's energy will affect what type of home you find is because personally, I experience this. I also know that when I shift my client's current home's energy, how their vision, their decision-making abilities is completely different. Especially in your home, let's say if the certain sector is not aligned, there is a sector that is affecting your decision-making. Is your decision-making sound? When you live in a home, your energy is being affected by the frequency of this home. So when you go out and look for a property, you're only attracting the property that is matching the frequency that you are living in, that is vibrating. And I will share a story for you, my personal story. And a lot of you actually have known that I bought my lake house, and the feng shui, I've done a lot of alignment and changing a lot of chi point, opening points. So the energy is very powerful. And it's also big. It's comparing to my city apartment is very different. So every time I goes in there, it's just amazing. I open my laptop. It's always there is feng shui inquiries, bookings, and everything. That's how the energy can impact you immediately. But the story is not just that. Is this house actually attract exactly the same facing and sitting for my parents, because my parents moved this year as well.
Thank you for listening to Feng Shui Serenity podcast. If you like this episode, make sure you subscribe or leave us a review. And I will see you next time.